How actionable is the content of the Advanced Certified Scrum Master? Well, that really depends on you. How much do you want to take away? The course is broken down into 5 key areas, and it's a mix of theory and practical advice, experience, both from myself and the other participants. You'll look at it, and I hope you'll come away with a lot to do. The first section is Agile theory. Where do we come from? Why do we think the way we do? What was the problem they were trying to solve? Those are questions you likely can already answer. But what were the frameworks those original people used? What was their thinking? What were the key developments through the course of history to impact their thinking and how these frameworks came together? We bring those into play for a couple of reasons. Number one, you need the credibility of knowing your profession. You need to know where Agile's come from to be able to talk about it properly, to give relevance and pull sources together and get people to trust you. But also, there's a huge body of work already sat there. And you need to take that and you need to use that as appropriate. But to do that, you have to be aware of it. You have to know what's out there. So we start off by looking at the theory of Agile, where it's come from, what its history is, why do we think that way, in the hope that you can build your credibility with your teams, with your organisations, but also to open up that toolbox a bit, expose you to new ideas to you, old ideas to the Agile world, because there's lots in there that's worth taking on. From the theory of Agile, we move into coaching and facilitation, 2 of my favourite areas as a Scrum Master and Agile coach. So we look at coaching, the idea that you can work with somebody to help them realise their own potential. I'll introduce you to the 3 key skills that you need: how to listen properly, how to ask questions, how to build a framework to allow that conversation to grow and explore the agenda of your coachee, be that one person or a team. From that, you will take away, if you've not done coaching before, the start of a new skill set, a way to approach conversations to help other people not put your thoughts and your thinking into their heads, but to let them explore the space for themselves. And the facilitation side of things, one of my all-time favourites, retrospectives. We look at how to build a retrospective, what that 5-stage framework is from Esther Darby and Diana Larson, okay? How it goes together, what we put into it. This is an opportunity for you to explore what the tools and techniques and exercises other people are using. Have a conversation about it, play around with those ideas so that you walk away with a better tool bag around retrospectives, so that you're more able to come away and run a good retro. From there, we move into service to the team. The idea that as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach, our role is really to create an environment where others can excel. So what do we do here? We look at team formation and the cycle through their life. How do we move them from those early forming stages and into the turbulent storming times, and from there into norming? And ultimately, we want to get teams to performing. So what is it like as we move through those stages? What are the tools and techniques we use? When do we create them? And we look around this, how do teams can, and underpinning all that, we answer the question, what is a team? Very important and very often overlooked. After service to the team, we're going to look at service to the product owner. We're going to look at visions. What's the importance of a vision? Why is it that people like me bang on about them? Why is it that you need to ensure your product owner has one and can articulate it in such a way as to capture the interest of your developers? Once we've done that, we're going to take an idea from a vision into an impact map. We're going to explore why we're doing something, who's impacted by it, how are they impacted, and what are we going to do to create that impact, or maybe dampen it if we want to reduce the effects of it. All as an idea to give you another set of tools around supporting that product owner, somebody who is normally fairly new to the role and on the lookout for different ways to help you and your team. And lastly, we do what I call beyond the team. This is both the scaling aspects and the organisational change. From an organisational change perspective, we'll look at system thinking, particularly causal loop diagrams or system modelling. How do we get from I have a problem to actually understanding what the symptoms are? Traditional root cause analysis isn't going to help you here, so we introduce that systems thinking, those interconnected ideas, to see how we play around with it. It's a difficult topic, but we try and make it straightforward as we can. Easy, interesting to play around with. Another tool for you to go away and actually talk to people and help them understand the complex nature of the place we play in. And then we wrap up with a conversation about scaling, not necessarily individual scaling frameworks. You need to know those, don't get me wrong, but they take time. They take a lot longer than we have on an ACSM to get good at. Instead, we're going to look at those underpinning questions. Is scaling a good idea? I'll give you a cheat answer. No, it's not. But you're going to do it anyway. So you're going to do it. How do we manage the dependencies between teams at scale? And what's the different structures we have, and what's the impacts of those structures on the organisation's ability to be agile, to be responsive, to adapt to changing circumstances? Throughout all this, you're going to have conversations, you're going to learn new things. And from those, what I hope is that you walk away with a vast selection of things to do now, but even more things to go away and think about, to explore, to research, to read. And that is the ACSM. Is that actionable? That comes down to you. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.